Alright, so I'm here to say that the Affordable Health Care Act should be repealed, despite what my opponents think. My opponents point out that no one can be denied coverage under Obamacare, and that is a real problem. That's not how insurance works. How insurance works is you pay for something in case an accident or something bad happens. Well, if no one can be denied insurance, then people will just wait, pay a minimal fee of about $695 a year, and then when they do get sick or seriously injured, just purchase health insurance then. And since no one can be denied under Obamacare for a pre-existing condition, they can receive Obamacare and receive treatment with paying minimal funds. And then my opponents also point out that most young people stay on their parents' healthcare plan until they're 26, which is a good thing, but if their parents have health insurance, right now, it's not through Obamacare. And if young, healthy people are on their insurance, they're not paying money into Obamacare. They're the low-risk pool that most insurance companies would need to pay into to afford the higher-risk people in their company. So Obamacare would not be receiving funds from those people. According to the LA Times, about 425,000 people in California are on their parents' health insurance, which is a great big chunk of funds that Obamacare would not be getting. Also, according to the Congressional Budget Office, they predict about 4 million people would end up just paying the tax, and that is a total loss of $54 billion. And if they just end up paying the tax, that is a minimal amount of money going into Obamacare, and it wouldn't be enough money to afford the other people that were paying for Obamacare but have accidents or something and need the service. And my opponent said something about small businesses not being penalized. Well, they will be penalized according to CNN, about $52 billion in new taxes and IRS requirements. And since a business exists to keep up its bottom line and avoid loss, they will find ways to circumvent these new taxes by basically cutting down their full-time employees to part-time. Because if they have mostly part-time employees, they're not required to give them health insurance, or at least as expensive health insurance. And some companies are already doing this in preparation for Obamacare. According to the Huffington Post, under the law, companies will be responsible for providing coverage for workers or they face government penalties, but not for the employees who log fewer than 30 hours per week on average. And companies such as Red Lobster and Olive Garden have already experimented with these policies. And that could be terrible for someone who lives paycheck to paycheck, whose life depends on a steady hours. And in an economy where employment's already high, we don't want policies that don't encourage jobs for people. And my opponents stated that since it was a Democrat, or it wasn't even Democratic, but since the senators voted on it, it must mean that people want it. Well, the senators were pushed by lobbyists and other political pressures from their party, since no Democrat, or very few Democrats voted against Obamacare. It's hard to believe that many people can agree on such a huge document without raising any concerns. They're not just looking out for the people. Our government isn't perfect like that. And on a survey done by Fox News on May 20th, which is a random telephone calls, only 34% of the population wanted to keep Obamacare the way it is, and 56% of the people wanted to go back to our healthcare system pre-Obamacare in 2009. And then only 10% said they didn't know either way, didn't know about it. That proves that America does not want this. It's overly complicated. Not enough people have read through it, and the people that have read through it are starting to realize that it is flawed and it does not do all the things it was promised. Finally, it does not decrease premiums, as Obama ran on in 2008, saying that premiums will not go up. It will not increase will not increase health insurance for the average family. But according to Hartzler Vicky, a congresswoman, Americans will see more than a $50 billion dollar tax increases during a time of economic hardship like we're going through right now. The American economy is in no place to be passing policies and implementing them that we aren't sure are going to work, and that were hastily done and no one read through, and basically are going to cost more than the proposed savings.